All right, so let's get to it. Today's episode, we're going to be talking about soul paths, soul plans. And I think this is a really interesting concept that has, in a lot of ways, given me a lot of like peace, comfort, closure, but then also a lot of like sense of purpose and like kind of like drive of like, oh yeah, like I'm like working towards something that is bigger and be more beautiful than I could ever comprehend. So, basic lesson of like each human being has a soul, and your soul has basically in this lifetime chosen certain things that it wants to understand more, learn more, and get to a point of like mastery level, like 10,000 hours of mastery level, like full deep understanding. And so each person's soul has different things that in this lifetime it's trying to master. And that could be, you know, a certain like emotional mastery. It could be like unconditional self-love. It could be a mastery over communication or a mastery over like finances or impacting other people. Like there's so many different things that your soul could be here to truly like master in this lifetime. But a lot of the times when we are looking at all of those like obstacles and those repeating patterns of things that we have dealt with over and over and over and over again, get an idea of like, oh, yeah, that definitely seems like something that like my soul really wants to master. And a lot of the times it's, finding 150 different ways that something doesn't work to get you to true understanding of how things actually are created. And this is kind of where I want to start is there is so much out there, especially in our day and age with social media and like quick fixes and fast, make cash fast online, all these things. Okay. And you'll see people who are like 21 years old and they're like millionaires, and you're like, how is that possible when I have literally been grinding and working so incredibly hard and it feels like I'm pulling teeth and I'm never like quote unquote getting ahead or getting to where I want to be? Like, how is it possible that, like this 20-year-old kid is like driving around in a G-Wagon and, whatever the situation is. But the reason I want to mention this is because a lot of times the spiritual community will be like, oh, I manifested this, I manifested this, I manifested that. Like, here's how do you manifest that? They may have had it in their soul plan to get that thing for a purpose. So if their soul always planned for them to have, $1 million at 21 so that they could learn that, the money wasn't what created their feelings of worthiness, of enoughness, of whatever it is, right? Like that their soul is like, oh, we want this person to master like truly feeling self-sufficient or truly feeling that they are enough or that unconditional love or whatever it may be, right? And so we're going to put them into scenarios, have life experiences, those situation scenarios, people that help them grow in a way that's going to get them to learn the things that your soul wants you to learn. And this could be like very triggering information. And I want you to come at from the lens of like, your soul was never trying to harm you or like truly have ill will if you've been through traumatic events. Your soul was truly trying to look at like, oh, okay, if I have something that's like a like very like a baby event, will they get on the path that they need to be on to learn the things that they need to learn to impact the world in the way that like, their soul wants them to impact? 99% of the time is no. Like each person's soul chooses and truly understands them, like you have your higher self and your soul. So like your soul is kind of like the contract. It's like the written word, and the higher self is kind of like the part that actually like goes and creates it, enacts it, creates the situations, the scenarios, like puts you into the positions and those kinds of things. So they're definitely like a team that works together. The soul is very much like either this is or this isn't a soul plan. Like it's literally like almost like a book of like this is what's going to happen. This is what the goals are. Like very regimented. Like it's like a contract almost, like very like simple, no emotional connection or anything like that. And then the higher self has a little bit more capacity and understanding and like really, but your higher self knows you more closely than you even understand yourself, right? Like your higher self knows, if this happens to her, like she would be able to handle this and work through it. And she also knows that like if this other thing happened to her, like game over, like it's not gonna happen, it's not gonna work. We always, always, always have human choice and we can make decisions. And there's gonna be those things that happen to people and they had choice in that. And did they, go through that and learn from it? Maybe they didn't. Maybe they chose, drinking or alcohol or something else to try to cope with it without actually like working through it or processing it. And a lot of the times, like, I don't think that we fully, like, truly realize how much we process things. There's a lot of times we have those trapped emotions from those things, but a lot of the times, like, you even just logically working through it is like your higher self knew that you were going to process it the way that you did. And my own life example to, like, kind of make this hopefully make more sense for you was I like for like even from like the beginning of my nursing career, like I always wanted to make a bigger impact than like straight bedside nursing. And I went the life coach path and I was very stuck in how it had to be and how I was supposed to help people. And I was very like rigid in my way of thinking. And I had a lot of like limiting beliefs in what I could create and what I could do and how I could help people. And unfortunately, I think like if you do know my story, my late husband like took his own life. So that was like 2022. So that happened and I truly am like honestly proud of myself for how I handled it because I really did like go immediately to seeking like help and support and to help me process it. Like I went to EMDR therapy and all these things. And like, I really truly like immediately went into like, okay, like this horrible tragic thing happened. How do I process this? How do I work through this? And in that process, like I feel like my higher self definitely was hugely there. And I've always been like deeply intuitive without like fully knowing that like I was being intuitive, but I always had that inner knowing. So like I knew I had to go do this. I knew I had to go seek help here. I knew I had to like reach out to these particular people that they were going to support me. And anyway, in that process, I truly uncovered like who I am at my core and deeply understood myself better than I feel like I ever would have. And if that didn't have happened, it would have taken years to get to the point of like being so lost to myself to get that support and help. So never would want to like quote unquote relive that situation. Like I don't wish that upon anyone. And I'm not saying that you like literally have to like lose your spouse in order for this like level of understanding to happen. I just want you to understand like, okay, that was something. And when I've looked in with the intuitive knowledge that I have now, it was very much like strongly like, yes, that was a soul plan. Like this was like why it happened. And it was really to kind of get me on that path that wouldn't have happened otherwise. And recognizing like that was really a massive instigator to get me onto the path that I am now. And my soul has so much purpose and mission on like what I am supposed to be here to do and the amount of lives that I'm supposed to be here to impact. And so it was like, we really got to get moving on that. And that's what I mean when I say like each soul chose. It's big T trauma, little T trauma. Like your soul knows exactly how much you can and can't handle and is truly working with your higher self. And it's really up to us as humans, because we have free will, to say like, I get it. I see it. This shitty thing happened to me. Wouldn't want to do it again. Wouldn't wish this upon anyone. But there was so much that came out of that, that awareness is understanding. Maybe if it's even just like things, I would have handled this differently. I would have done this differently. There's so much growth that happens from those things, even if we're not giving ourselves credit for that. And I really, really encourage you to take those times of like looking at things and being like, oh, so like what came out of that? And for the longest time before I fully understood all of the growth that came from that situation with Shane dying, it really, even from the beginning, people would like say this to me, but I truly like internalized like, holy shit, like how strong I am. Like you do not know how capable you are, how strong you are until you like truly go through the trenches. And that was that moment for me of like, if I can get through this, like I'm fucking invincible. And I've had to remind myself of that for like literally like years. And I still will remind myself of that, of like, okay, like if I could go through that, I can literally do anything. And have a level of grace and understanding for myself and others who are going through their own traumas. And I think that, that really created this deep understanding and growth that I can share this unconditional love for myself and others. So, with that, you have these soul plans. So, some people have those like, they're going to get all these things and it's going to be super easy because it's their soul plan, which is also why it can be so tricky when you have these things and maybe you've invested in courses and all these things online and you're like, oh, this is a 10-step process to make $1 million. I mean, you know what I mean. So this is the 10-step process to make $1 million, and you went and did all the 10 steps and you didn't make the $1 million. You're like, WTF? It is literally most likely because if that person did make $1 million, it was part of their soul plan because they don't actually know the real steps to make $1 million. And if they did know the real steps, it would have worked because basically everything that we have in life that is not a part of your soul plan. So if you have something that's a part of your soul plan, amazing. It's basically a guaranteed possibility. What does that mean? That basically means that unless you completely go off your soul path, like that big T trauma happens to you and you choose to take a skirt to the side and go and like, drink and do all the drugs and you avoid any sort of introspective things and you literally ostracize yourself from everybody who you love and care about. Like that kind of level. Like even if you like there's still people who go and do that for a period of time and then they come back from it and then they get back on their soul path and then they accomplish their soul plan. But like if you were to do that, like take that like total 180 swing to the other direction and never come back, it wouldn't happen. But even if you've taken that like 180 and then you like turned that car back around and you're going back towards your like higher self soul path, still gonna happen. It just may be a delayed timeline kind of thing, right? That. So your soul has these things that it really truly wants you to accomplish. And so many of us have, if you're listening to this, like your soul has big things planned for you on how you're supposed to impact people. And in order to impact more people and help them in your unique way, we are each here coming with our own way that we're going to help the world. And even if like two people are nursing, the way that they are nurses is completely unique and like special to them. The way that they communicate, the way that they care for people, like is unique and special to them. And it's the same with like, okay, your soul may come to have a similar mission to somebody else, but the way that you're going to do it or who you're going to help do that thing is going to be so unique and special to you. So never is there and not enough. Like there's so many options out there for each and of us to follow our soul path, to have the space, to have the capacity. And I know this was a limiting belief that I had, like, oh, there's so many other people doing this, there's so many other people doing that, like I can't do it, there's not enough like room for all of us. That is like complete bullshit. That is bullshit right there. Like there is literally a space for each and every single one of us. When you look at like a full puzzle, there is a spot that every single puzzle piece that has its unique shape and unique picture fits within the bigger puzzle, right? Like we all fit, and there might be two puzzle pieces that are like similar in picture on it, but they have a different shape, or maybe they're similar shape, but they have a different picture. Like that is all okay. There is a spot for every single one of us to follow our soul path, our soul pull, which is basically like you doing that thing and impacting somebody, some people in life. And even if you're like a stay-at-home mom, that could literally be part of your like soul path. Like you are literally made to raise the best possible children on the planet. Like who knows, right? Like there is no like soul plan that is too little or too big. It is really about like you truly learning to find and understand yourself and start moving and making decisions that kind of move you towards that and truly understanding that and moving away from the life of I feel like I should do this and I should do that and everybody's always told me I'm smart so I should go get my master's degree or take this or that and really starting to go into like what do I want to do? What do I see in others that I totally admire and feel like I could totally do that in my own unique way? And this is like why I wanted to share this also is because there is so much potential in all of us. And if you start to admire people for the things that they are doing, there is something you can't see in others which you don't have yourself. So it could be in your soul plan, your capacity, your path that you are meant to walk to have some level of quality, a likeness to that person that you are admiring. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you want to do the exact same thing that they're doing. You could like literally admire like a master guitar player, right? Like who is like the best guitar player on the planet. Doesn't mean that you want to go be a guitar player, but you might want to be a best master of the thing that you want to do. So you admire that dedication, you admire that like tenacity and the like level of discipline that has caused them to create that level of mastery. And that's like where your brain's like, I want that, but in my own unique way. And so that's why all of this is just really to help you recognize that all of the shit that has piled on you in your life, there is some silver linings in it, and start asking that question of what has come out of this that has helped me grow or become more myself or recognize. And even if it's just recognizing what you really don't want, that awareness can help you make decisions moving forward. And that is special. And then starting the other side of that of like, oh, like what do I admire in others? Like what do I feel like I truly want for myself? And how do I start taking actions to create that? And if you're in that process where you're like, okay, I'm trying to unravel the past in a constructive way, and I really want to start moving into this like next level version of myself that has created the things that I want, that feels, fully aligned and that they're making a difference and they're making an impact and that they have the capacity mentally, physically, emotionally to do the things that they want to do, spend the time with their family and all that with passions and hobbies. This is really where my one-on-one mentorship thrives for people because we have this capacity to truly like look at the things that have happened and help you heal them and help you get brain reprogramming tools to shift your brain so that your brain can get on board with where you're going and have those belief systems that help guide you on your soul path and really making it like a clear blueprint for your specific life, not just that like, oh, here's 10 steps to make the $1 million. Like, no, no, no. Like, here is exactly what your soul and your higher self want for you to get and create that life that like you know that you're made to have. So if that sounds like something that, you're curious about, that you want to like learn more about, at this time of the recording, I have 3 spaces left in my mentorship actively right now, but I would highly recommend booking a consult call. So we'll just get on a call, we'll kind of chit chat, see where you're at, where you want to be, and make sure that like this is the highest level fit for you. And I can intuitively test like how beneficial this is going to be for your life overall, how beneficial it's going to be for your career, your finances. Like we can literally like see percentages of like how this is going to impact you to sign up for mentorship. All right. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll talk to you all soon.